Good day, everyone. I have chosen to do a database on my employer's dental office. As you all know, I am a live-in caregiver, and most of the time, I would be asked to go there and do some errands. Because of this, I was able to look at how they do things there and observe how chaotic their work days are. During those times I have noticed that they still use paper to keep their patients' records and files. Not only are these space consuming, they also consume too much time. By the number of patients they have, I think that creating a database would be an easier way of inputting their patients' transactions and insurance company payments more efficiently. This would not only save them time, it would also make their records clean and more organized. So first, let us talk about the FMA1. We were first asked to make a conceptual design. So my conceptual design consists of three entities, namely the dental office list, the patient's list, and the insurance company list. The dental office treats the patients. The patients gives their treatment bills to the insurance companies, and the insurance companies pay the dental office. Those in circles are the attributes of each entity. Next is the physical design. This is actually an easier method to understand the building blocks of the database. Here we have three tables with primary keys declared. The dental office is related to the patient's table through the patient ID field. The patient list is then related to the insurance company list through the INS_ID or insurance ID field. Notice that the relationship between the tables are one-to-one, as symbolized by the double-headed arrows. This is because only one patient ID has only one equivalent on the patient table, and one insurance ID can only have one equivalent on the insurance company table. So next are the data models. These are the hierarchical, the network model, and the relational model that I've made. The first two, the hierarchical and the network model, showed a parent-child relationship. However, I think that they were too simple and lacks information. Among the three, I can say that the relational model is the most appropriate to use because it is the most organized and the most detailed. Also, you can see that the relationships between the entities are clearly identified. So for the second assignment, we were asked to visualize the specific functions that we plan to use on our database. So here are the basic features that I have chosen. Add new patient. It is a function that will make a new profile of a patient, which would ask boxes such as name, address, contact number, and insurance ID number to be filled. Add family member. This function would sort people into families. This is also important, especially for patients who have spouses and kids and uses only one insurance plan. Add insurance company. It will add in a profile of an insurance company which has the necessary details such as its name, address, and contact number. Update patient. It is meant to modify or update a patient's details in cases of marriage or insurance policy change. Search. This function would help with the easy navigation on the database, like finding patient profiles or insurance company profiles. Now for the system and media failures. I based them on what I have observed at the office so far. So for system failure, the crashing of the internet is the most common problem. Power outages, not so much. During my 2 years here in Canada, I have never experienced a blackout, not even once. So I don't think that would be a problem. Internet crashes, though, I have seen happen at the office few times. An immediate plan in case these things happen, though, would be to use paper-assisted forms to be filled out by the patients and the dentist and hygienist. While doing this, the office should be able to explain what exactly happened. The form would act as a record of what treatments were done to the patient. After these were met, the only thing left to do is to wait until the power comes back on or the internet connection has been back or has been replenished. In case there are transactions that failed to be recorded at the time of the failure, what I would do after the failure in power, what I would do after the failure in the power and the internet has been done, back up, it is to undo or roll back the pending transaction. It is also a must to redo certain transactions that were successfully completed before the crash happened because it might not have gone through. So, media failure, on the other hand, or the physical damage that might happen, which usually happens with the hard drive, involves damages to the disk. Also, with what I have gathered on the reports from my classmates, there are two types of media failure. One is permanent, wherein there is a permanent loss of data on the disk, and the only way to recover lost data would be to repair or replace its storage device that crashed and to create a backup of files from the said device. The second type of media failure, on the other hand, is temporary, wherein the problems in the hardware makes the data provisionally unobtainable but not corrupted. An example of this would be when a disk controller fails and when there is no power of the storage device. Common causes of these would be flooding and falling, while anything that could damage the hard drives easily actually would be a cause of it. Flooding, just like power failures, I don't see the likelihood of happening here. Falling, however, is not an impossibility. The solution is to replace the disk controller. Once it has been replaced and once the power on the device is back up, data can be accessible again. Another solution for media failures, as I have mentioned just now, is to have backups. Storage devices with all the files of the database should always be ready in case of emergencies. A good example would be USB flash drives and external hard drives. These, however, are also prone to failure, so I think it would not hurt if we explore cloud storage. There is the question of security still, but I will go into that on the latter part of this presentation. Okay. How I came up with answers for the FMAs. Well, I was basically able to answer the two FMAs by, of course, reading the modules. After reading them, and after having seen the first FMA specifically, I have thought of the best thing that I could apply it to. Since I work at home and all I do are household chores, I didn't think I could apply it here. However, I have thought that since once in a while I am expected to the office to do some work, why not do a database for them? Since I have been exposed on how they handle clients at the front and patients inside, I thought, why not choose something that I think they are spending a lot of time over? So I thought of doing a database for inputting their patients' transactions and insurance company payments. I can't say that answering the FMAs was easy, but I don't think it was also that hard. I think the hardest part that I have encountered was doing the conceptual design. I did not know where to start and what to do, so I searched for sources and could help. I searched for sources that could help me explain more simply what I had to do, and from there everything followed. The reports also helped me a lot in applying the lessons to more realistic situations in life. Future plans. If I would really be able to execute this database, work at the dental office would be so much easier. My employers would have less time to check things, and the employees would be able to spend at least half the time of doing the work. For this reason, I plan on adding a few more functions in the future, such as keeping the patient's records, their treatment history, x-rays, and such in the database as well. If all things go smoothly, I think I could also put one more entity in it, or at least add another relationship on one entity, the dental office. I think I could also add payrolls of employees somewhere in there as well. I plan on using the most basic language available so that all of the people in the office would be able to use the database. As for the security system, I am thinking of furnishing everyone, all of those working in the office that is, with their own login details. This would not only serve as security to the system, it would also help in monitoring who did what and avoid the blaming game. I have said earlier that I am also thinking of using cloud storage. It is now a fad these days to use it, but I am a bit hesitant to go into it because of the security problems. But I think that if I have more time to study cloud storage and prove that it is like protected enough or secure enough for the office, then I would be more than willing to try it with my database. So yeah, that's the end of this presentation. I hope that everyone enjoyed watching this and understood what I said. Okay, this has been Maricar Diaz. Thank you.